Hello, everybody. My voice is a little bit different because I've been going through a horrible cold in there. I know there was no reports for pretty much going on 10 days. Well, Dio has not done a 10 days report. First of all, I had some very good timing. You guys know I was at this. Gathering of astrologers in there through the new paradigm astrology schooling. We were all three of us in there. It was a great event. It was a good. I got some good feedbacks. I got some guidelines. I got some things that comes out in there, particularly when we're talking about astrogravity, the astrology, where you combine the gravity with the astrology. A lot of things come in. And one thing that I want to share, kind of like with you guys, is look at into your charts. Looking into your charts, don't gravitate only towards a planet that you have issues. Okay, because when you're gravitating to that planet, to that energy of the issues, you do not see the possibilities that this problem comes in for a purpose. It comes in to show you the exit lines. I talked to a few people who had some T-squares. If you don't know what T-square is, and there that is a one of positions, and there is another planet that makes a two squares. And this is where the people were going on, like gravitating from one planet here. I'm going to sit in this problem, then I'm going to go in this problem, then I'm going to go this problem, but without seeing it that one of the planets, one way or another, whatever it is, planet, it has a trine and a sextile to resolve these confrontations. And this is what we actually do it. Another things that I want to show you guys is that how did I getting into what the energy will be. Here is at the screen. So what it does is we using orbs. What it's mean orbs. That is the difference within the degrees and the aspects within the planets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to really lower it down the orbs, down to the main bone. And this is what we have. We see some this beautiful square. 3 degrees, so it's 3 degrees. And as we see in at 3 degrees and 50 minutes and 3 degrees and 51 minutes, Neptune, this is going to be like the main energies today. We're going to be talking about Venus squaring Neptune, and as soon as this energy is going to be in the morning, we're going to see the ascendant that it's going to be at Cancer with Venus. Venus in Cancer is a very particular energy. This can be a love and values towards the family, but this is also can turn out sour if Venus is got some very particular aspects in there, because this is a also what is the love and the values about me within the family. This can go kind of like a two ways with this, and especially that right now that this is going to be a squaring Neptune. This is going to be an energy that you may going to be putting the pink glasses, fantasizing about the love and the values. You may going to be going into this energy, or you can be typically like as a Venus that is at Cancer. I don't feel the love, so let me go shopping. Let me go please myself, or let me go get of these energies that I am have to get and do what to feel, to make myself feel good. Okay, but as we're seeing it, and as the energy is going to be processing over the time, we're going to see some. The Venus is also going to be sextile like Mars, and she's going to be beginning to trining the North Node. That's where she's going to be going in there. We see some Mercury sextiling Saturn, very beautiful. This is a what I have learned from friends. It's a great things And either you learning from friends or the friends learning from you. But this energy right now is particularly, we also have that the Sun and Uranus, as you see them right here, they're all together at Gemini. This is where the universe creates this unpredictable events. Um, we were talking about at the event about this gravity's energy, because see, um, Uranus and Venus has a different spinnings into the solar system. Okay, since Venus is spinning backwards to the rest of the planets, this is if you look, this is the love and the values that you want, and the energies that you want to put in, and so on and so on. While Uranus is more unpredictable, right? And this is where Uranus is the unpredictable energies of events that we cannot control, but somehow it's adjusting into this. So we are going to be looking to what? To adjustments of the authority. Okay, we want to cranking up a little bit more the orbs as you see it. We see some that Mercury, it is beginning to square the inner work and the north node. We have some very beautiful 150 degrees with Pluto. That means that the moon is going to be exactly with that at some point of the day. And as we are keeping it going, we see some more stuff that it's gonna come towards us. And that's how we see some what energy is gonna be more powerful and what energy is gonna be affecting us in a very different way. All right, so this is gonna be at 7 o'clock. Energy at 8 o'clock. The ascendant is going to be 150 degrees with Lilith. Very, very beautiful power because it's needed for the shadow work. But that shadow work, it can't really, if you're going to work, okay, in there, this is going to be this visions, these illusions in there because the inner work is going to be at Pisces, squaring communications and squaring shadow. That means that something with the communications is not going to go right. So be mindful with your bosses, okay? Don't say I didn't say that. All right, 9 o'clock. The inner work is going to be at Aries. This is going to be at the beginning. You start working on something that it's building right now. If you're working on a building something, okay, keeping it going because this is where Neptune, this is where Saturn, the structure is. I am building a new structure. I am the new structure. And this is going to be that energy of a structure that is going to be coming in. We're going to see some that the moon is going to be given to Saturn, like, okay, let's put that authority because the moon is where? The moon is at Leo. But as we are seeing that the moon is at Leo, the moon is the part of the guide, which is the receiver is going to be what? The shadow. Okay, we're going to see some this energy of the shadow that's going to be comes in, and it is about communications, investigations, and what do you do with the hands? Okay, can't just talking about it. Some of the stuff's going to be need some what? Real work. All right, 10 o'clock. The inner work is going to be at this one of the tipping point for this kite, close to a Saturn. This is going to be like, okay, Saturn approves. Let's move forward. Let's communicate and let's set some contracts. Let's get the things done. Mercury is at home. He's very powerful. He's in Gemini. Here is about when you're developing the friendshipness. Very powerful trines with Pluto. Very beautiful sextile with the ascendant and the moon. This is a time when you put logic in the proper perspective with yourself to use it in life. Guys. Oh, yeah. Been having a terrible cold. All right. 11 o'clock. The inner work is going to be with Mars. Mars, even though that he's not happy with the transformation, he's not happy where the things are going. Mars is reevaluating all this. Is my actions proper? Is my things proper? Is my work on the earth is okay? I'm going to be dealing with this. Is my understandings of where I'm going is going to be good. And that it's coming in because Mars is sextiling the North Node, but Mars is sextiling Venus. Very beautiful energies between partnerships inside within your own self. That's going to reflect that energy towards your actual partnership with others. Very beautiful energy between masculine and the feminine. As long pay attention into that. Mars is squaring Pluto, Venus is squaring Neptune. There's something in there is not quite okay. Something is not quite right. The masculine energy is like, well, there has been a change, there has been a progress, but it's not really a progress. There's something is out there. Venus squaring Neptune. This is like I want to do something else. I want to just kind of like, okay, well, what's going to happen if I have some relationship outside the relationship? This is going to be that little Venus in there. It's like maybe the relationship is not right. We have a shadows of a doubt, but also Venus can be like with this melancholy energy is like, okay, well, I will go ahead and buy some certain things. I want to get myself a little bit better, but that also is going to be talking about laziness. Okay, so because see, Venus wants the emotions. Venus wants to feel the emotions and Cancer about the family, but it has to come first from within. All right, 12 o'clock, the inner work is going to be a Taurus. That is, as you see, this beautiful green line in there is like all the answers is in the shadow. You know all the answers. You may think that you don't know it, but you do. You just don't look at it in the shadow, right? Because you're afraid to look at it there. And that fear is going to be coming in because the true Lilith is actually at Scorpio investigating things. She's going to be investigating things of unhealed wounds. And we are going to be see somehow this energy of truth is going to be coming up with that. All right, well, here is the inner work at 1 o'clock. This is where the Sun, Uranus, so they're coming into the primary. And right now they are beginning to really squaring the knots. You need to know in the next pretty much week, plus we are going to be dealing with a karmic energies. Okay, some of the people is going to be skipping things. They're going to repeat some lessons. They're going to be looking into the past, and particularly because the Sun and Uranus. Okay, so here is the North Node, right? Uranus and the Sun, they're going these directions towards the South Node. You're learning the new, you're learning some energies, but this energy is going to start getting on a very beautiful trines with Pluto to put things into a perspective as Pluto is coming back. It's like, okay, did you remember this? Did you remember the lessons? Did you remember the acceptance? Are you ready to be a flexible? Which is Uranus is going to be asking you to be a flexible. Some things works and then some things doesn't work and you're like, how can I make it work? Go and ask any successful businessman. They always have somebody they can call in. They always have somebody who can give into like an emergency case because they always have to have a one backup for operations. Okay. And this is what you need to take a look at. How's your life is? Do you have a backup? Right? You're going to see this success that is going to be start triggering within you, and you're going to see what can I do as a backup. Because let me tell you, this is like in the new cars, particularly the cars from 15 years ago, they started introducing what? No spare tire. They put an air compressor in this little can that you fill up the tire that becomes like a stone until you get to some place. So you actually change the whole tire. Right? It wasn't like in the past, you have a spare tire. You take the tire, you replace it, put it in there, and then you send it out for repairs. And this is what you need to take a look. Do you have the spare tire in your car? That doesn't mean spare relationships. Okay. All right. 2 o'clock, the inner work is going to be at Gemini. This is going to trigger the dualities, of course, in there. Do you look your own shadow first? How you organize and so on and so on. Today I made a picture of the moon, Jupiter, and Venus. It was very beautiful. I posted it on Facebook. With this, we're gonna see some of great times. It's gonna be start coming up in about 2 weeks because Venus is gonna be joining Jupiter. This is Zeus and Tita coming together, right? I mean, power, love within the family. A very great moment. We see some that energies that is going to be start coming in, but Venus is going to be start looking towards what? Divine transformations. But we're going to see some of that 115 degrees aspect with Pluto. Talking about that energy is going to come in as the ascendant, the visions that comes in. They're going to be a T-squaring Venus in there with the descendant, whereas Neptune actually is going to be. This is going to be trigger this changes within the visions. Did I do the right things? But this is where what? The shadows of a doubt from the previous hour, it's going to triggering. And I am okay for the relationship. And I have the right values. Did I have the right visions? Did I tap into these visions? Did I supporting those visions? Did I acting on those visions? And that's what Mars have what? This support from Venus. And at the same time, Venus feels the support from Mars, right? They're in sextile, but they are both connecting to what? To the North Node. Now is the time to get the plans together, but do some work, okay? Do some the work. We're going to see some this beautiful yacht from the North Node and Mars that it's going to be towards pointing out towards Libra. This is a very, very beautiful energy. I spoke about this. Those yachts, they are important. North Node, Pisces, spirituality, religion, psychology that it's coming into. What is in your psyche? Hi, Lisa. That psyche, okay, that spiritual power together with Mars and Taurus. I'm acting into the material world. It's pointing out to where? It's pointing out towards the relationships. Okay, learning to maintain that balance. And that is actually the energy. The solution is going to be what? Neptune. Look to the reality as it is. But currently, everything into the world, it's like Neptunization. You see halfway through. You see halfway stuff. And this is where is about it. You to clear the shadow side out. You to clear what you don't see is unclear. I don't have to right now. It's going to be presented to me as a clarity as it goes. Okay? Because Uranus is going to be like, okay, adjust it. Be flexible. Stop being this tough, rigid, just too tight. You need to be more flexible, more movement, more understanding. And then if you have to do something, you can adjust. You can always call the specialist, right? You can always call the universe. It's like, hey, adjust it. There's something has to be in there. And if it's not adjusted, what is the purpose in there, right? You're putting the understanding to work. All right. 4 o'clock, the inner work is going to be more into the dark sun. This is where we are actually learning. We've been learning how to create society and family. Okay. It's been for a very long time. It's going to stay there for a very long time. We need to learn that, okay, one way or another, we are living in the same house called Earth. And we need to learn how to get together. Okay. We got some plenty of time. All right, plenty of time. These things move slow. But that is beginning to square some Neptune, and that energy is in there. Some of the people, it's like, I don't see it, Leo. You're not building this for one day, okay? Not building these things. 5 o'clock, the inner work is going to be at the end of Cancer. That is going to be some squares towards Chiron, and also is going to beginning towards Mars. You may going to feel a little bit unsatisfied, incomplete at the end of the day. What is this? You're going to carry some certain emotions. Like say, for example, I feel guilty that I haven't done a certain work, haven't done a certain situations, could have done some certain things and so on. But you know what? I could have not done them. Even if I tried to do something about it, I was in a vacation sick situation. Ain't doing a deal. You're gonna need to get some break. You did a good things, now you need to get a break. And that's what it is. But hopefully I am getting it better. All right? Okay. All right. 6 o'clock. The inner work is gonna be at Leo. Very beautiful energy from that Leo, actually, because this is a developing my character. Okay, and that's where the intuition right now, it's like, did I have the proper character? Did I say the proper words? Yeah, I am the wise. And I am this personality that is not dictating, controlling, manipulating, and attention seeking, and so on. This is the energy of the wisdom, because this is the house where you create yourself. It's Leo. The way you create yourself, that's how it's going to be your character. And this is why in the astrology, people who has something to do with raising kids or having a kids, it's the fifth house. Everything has its purpose in there. Hi, Christine. And that is that purpose about it. And we see some of the inner work and the moon there. Very beautiful energy. Whatever you need to understand in there is a character. Take a look what you have in Leo. You don't like certain things and situations and so on. But the incoming energy that it comes in from the event horizon, from the ascendant. The Sun, Uranus, and Neptune are pointing out to the beginning of Scorpio. This is where we all start asking a lots of questions of what is going on in the world, how we are going to be processing the material things with others, with our partner. How are we going to get these relationships properly in a way? How can we survive into the new earth, right? How come, we were all in about these IT jobs and so on and so on, and all of a sudden you're hearing this big company is gonna lay off 13,000 people from the IT sector. This company is gonna lay off 10,000 people because the artificial intelligence takes over their jobs, gonna make the things easier. What are you going to do? You have to learn a new professions. Can you be right away been hired? You have always backups, and that's what this is, the backup. And this is where Mars can get agitated, because how can I have done this? And particularly Mars and Pluto, they are not happy in there. Mars can be very agitated in there. Hair looks good. Maybe a haircut. Yeah, I got haircut. Exactly, I got a haircut. And thank you, Lisa. Yeah, I'm trying to get the things better. There's gonna be into this, but I also looked how to handling this in proper situations. Okay, people are dealing with a lot of things right now. People are making comments. People are working on this insecurity. The only insecurity is feel when you feel like you're weak or you don't believe in yourself. Get in new opportunities. Get the new ways that you gonna depending on you. And that's where you're going to be learning about interdependence. That interdependence is a power. It is a power. But that yacht is going to be showing up to us a lot of things. So take a look what is going to come to you as a visions at 6 p.m. 7 p.m. another yacht we have from Mercury and Saturn. You're going to be investigating about structures. How you going to create the structures of the new Earth? Can you imagine that you are going into a new planet? And now you have to restructure everything that it is. Not everything that you knew it is the way it is. You don't have certain things. You cannot do certain things. But you have to create structure. Okay? So this is how it is. That's a part of evolution. Okay? It's a part of evolution. You might not recognize it, but it is a part of evolution in there. I just realized that it's a very compliment where you're wearing a hat. Yeah, I always been wearing hats a little bit in there, but yeah, particularly I like it. I've been wearing that for a very long time, but at some point I hadn't been wearing it. And some of the old videos, Lisa, 9 years will be 10 years. I want only people to people, not manipulations. Exactly, Christine. All right, 8 p.m. Sender is going to be with the True Lilith. True Lilith is the 27 degrees of Scorpio. She is trying to find informations of the past. She's in a retrograde mode. It's like I missed something. I misread something. I misunderstood something. I did not see the right thing. Now I have these visions are coming. I have these triggers from the past. Pluto is also is retrograde, right? And now you see some what? Don't waste your time opportunities. Not like before. You've learned certain things, you learn it. Now the energy is calling for what? Doing the right thing. But be what? Wise. This is where the moon is going to have some little challenges because she's going to be a squaring the ascendant. And let me tell you, Leo Scorpio square is always about attention seeking. It's all about this, oh, I need this, I need that, you must admire me, means looking at me. And then Scorpio comes in, is like, oh, you have to submit to me. And this is where those energies are clashing, okay? Those energies are clashing. And this is kind of like a very interesting, I haven't seen a very good relationship between Leos and Scorpio. If they have some precise squares or something isn't there, even in a personal chart. All right, 9 o'clock. The inner work is going to be at that point that we saw with the ascendant. You see some very beautiful, like a pentagram, green pentagram. Lots of divine energies that are going to go one way or another. Particularly that these energies, they're actually starting from the North Node. As you see it here on the bottom, that's the North Node in the screens. That energy is moving all the way up to the inner work of balance. That it's coming down into Mars and Chiron to giving us the powers to heal, while the resolution is going to be a Neptune. Then the art is going to be going to the ascendant. It's something with philosophy, something that we need to sell more positive to ourselves. And that's going to go to Venus, while the solution for this is going to be how do we look at the character of change, your adaptability. You see, the strongest species is not the one who is strongly tough. It's the one who is adaptable. This is going to be some interesting lessons. And from there, the energy is going to be going into Pluto, revising. Okay? It's going to be lots of the revising situations that it comes in. But as we've seen, Pluto triggers everything. We see some powers, we see some that the planet is going to be basically very much, things is going to be like, okay, I got this 10,000 pieces of puzzle, but I found those pieces. I'm putting them in there. I'm doing some work. I don't have to clear everything, but I start doing and I start seeing some more. And you should tap yourself on the back for this. Okay? Maybe tough, maybe don't expect it to put that puzzle for a one day. Ain't gonna happen. And don't put pressures within you, but also being what? Relentless. Be in time. Okay? Be in on time. Discipline. All right, well, 10 o'clock, we're going to see some Lilith is going to be rising. Actually, I was talking about this Lilith in there with some of the guys. I spoke about it, and I said, like, they asked me about why did I use, because some of the astrologers using mean Lilith and the true Lilith. And I explained it to them that when I look at it, this is Lilith, that's the mean one, that it's right now is an ascendant. And here is the true Lilith. Well, the true Lilith, it goes retrograde, it moves, she does research, then it goes back into the mean Lilith, then it goes forward, then it goes back to her. And the reason for this is I've been paying attention because I'm going to be pushing you a little bit forward. We're going to be moving out, and as we're seeing it right now, as the moon is going to go into there nearby, they always get together. Okay? They're always getting it together. You pay attention to the reports. This is where that research that the true Lilith does, putting it more into the shadow, and out the moon it comes in and investigating it and stuff. Okay? But until we get there, we're going to get there. All right? So now, let's go back into these points. Okay. And we're going to see some 11 o'clock. The inner work is going to be at Scorpio. This is where you really have to be knowing that you have things to do. Knowing that right now those emotions are in process. Knowing that the things is not perfect. Nothing is perfect. Okay? But don't put pressure either on yourself or in your actions. And there is always going to be a shadow for put out. Do it anyway. Okay? Because the strength and the discipline that Mars learned, okay, right now he is going through processes of toughness. And don't put pressure and the things are not going okay in the material world. It is the discipline of the character that needs to be tested out, because we are going to start seeing it the beginning of as the moon. It's going to be a going in. And there she's going to be in what? First quarter moon. First quarter moon is going to start it. Okay? But you're going to feel a little bit more and put the divine energies to work. They are there for you. Okay? They are there for you. So that's what it was, the astrogravitational report. I know it takes a little bit more time with this, but we are going to see 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, as I said, be mindful about, because we are going to go to start feeling it, these energies of the first quarter moon, and we're going to start seeing the karmic situations. The moon is going to be close to what? To the south node. And now the duality is going to start kicking in. It is really going to allow the past to mess it up or screw up the future. What do you build? Or do you have anything in your past that you have not faced? And it's time to face it. Otherwise, that thing is going to come out one way or another, and you have to face it. All right, but this one we're going to be talking more about tomorrow. Mañana, hopefully I'm much better, not talking to my nose. All right, guys, just send some little positive energies in there. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming into the chat. We appreciate your click, likes, shares, the subscribes. If you like to support the channel or you need some reading in there, you may do so. Support is through Buy Me a Coffee or PayPal, or you can send an email to astroviber1111@gmail.com. And if you need some assistance, it's always going to be given to you. Much love, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.